This is Stone Cold Steve Austin, the one and only Texas Rattlesnake, and I'm here with a message. My friend Brentamania89 has a YouTube channel, and I want you to do me a solid. Check it out, hit that like and subscribe button, show your support, and let's grow this community together. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Brentamania89 back in with another video. I know I'm a little late, almost 2 months, but one of my favorite all-time wrestlers back in July of this year, Gene Bollea, better known to us wrestling fans as Hulk Hogan, passed away. When I found out the news, I was shocked, and I thought, I hope this is a hoax. I hope this isn't real. I hope what I'm hearing is not true. And it turned out to be it was true. Whether you like him or not, and whatever your opinion is on Hulk Hogan, that's fine. But when you think of pro wrestling, Hulk Hogan has to come to mind. You can ask anybody who doesn't really know pro wrestling, but you say Hulk Hogan, and I bet they're going to say, okay, yeah, I know, I've heard of Hulk Hogan, yes. Hulkamania was born January 23rd, 1984, and after that, it was off to the races. Hulk Hogan was WWE, or F, at the time, one of their biggest stars and attractions. He brought, Shawn Michaels said in his Hall of Fame video, he brought the E to WWE. He brought the entertainment to WWE. And when he talked on the mic, you couldn't just help but listen. The way he would talk. Well, you know something, Mean Gene. What you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania and the 24-inch pythons and all my Hulkamaniacs run wild on you? Stuff like that. It's a big loss, I think, a lot of people know him better as Hulk Hogan than they do his real name. But Gene Bollea, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan, it's no longer here. And that's weird to still think about today, that he's no longer with us. And it's crazy. In high school, I'll just give a quick story about, before high school, I was in junior high, and I was in junior high, and my friend and I went to Kmart, and there was a bin full of VHSs. They were real cheap, like $3. It wasn't more than that. I remember that much. And we pulled out WrestleMania 18. And I've never watched wrestling. My friend said, you should get this. And I said, I don't know. My mom won't like me watching wrestling. And he said, no, get it. We can keep it at my house. I was like, nope, I'll get it. She'll learn to love it. Or just put up with it. One of the two. So no. And I watched it. Him versus The Rock. I was just hooked. And after that, I wanted to learn more about Hulk Hogan. The red and yellow. It was like a street sign. It was very colorful. But at that time, he was Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Right there is where he is. On that Nintendo 64 game. And, he was what they call a bad guy in pro wrestling, a heel. He wasn't a babyface, which is a good guy, as he is there. But, yeah, I was just hooked, and I wanted to learn more about the wrestling business and Hulk Hogan. And that's when I became a fan. I don't remember the exact year. 03 sometime. Or, no, it was in 02, just before they changed from F to E. So, Hulk Hogan is going to be missed. He was, one of the biggest wrestlers around. And I'm not good with words, so I apologize. But to finish my story, in high school, I wore a lot of Hulkamania shirts. Was I a little obsessed? It might have looked that way, yes. I probably was. But what was nice was there was a kid in my grade who was in varsity baseball. And when you were in varsity baseball, you can have a music when you're called, it's your turn to bat, walking up to home plate. And one year he had Real American. And they were changing out pitchers. And he signaled up there to keep playing that song, and they played all of Real American. And my high school, in the dugout, they were putting the cup to the ear, you know, posing like Hogan, looking at me in the crowd. I just think that was very nice of them, and thank you for that. So I have a few things here that are Hulk Hogan related. A lot of my stuff is, like, some of the stuff is on the wall. That's just some of it there. Before I get into that, I'm sorry. I'm not good with talking. And, you know, I did have the opportunity in 2015 of March to meet Hulk Hogan at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. That was a weird but exciting day, all wrapped into one. That could be a story for another day. So, I had the pleasure of meeting him, and unfortunately, I didn't get to say anything to him. So I wanted to meet him somewhere else, hopefully his beat shop or somewhere else, but it just never happened. But I'm still happy for the opportunity I had back in 2015. So I'm just going to show off a few little things that are Hulk Hogan related here, and then I'll end this video. So we have WCW NWO Revenge for the 64. I have met, this is when Hulk Hogan was in the NWO, and he was a heel. I met him, Kevin Nash, and Goldberg, but I never met Raven. And here's the booklet for it. And then I have this game here for the Nintendo, original Nintendo, WrestleMania. And then I have this book here that I found at a thrift store years ago. I don't know much about it. In other countries, it was called an annual. So I guess this was 1991's annual for them. But it just, you know, shows wrestlers and what went on that year. And I'll show you Hulk Hogan's page. There's him with the American flag. Him against Sergeant Slaughter, Dino Bravo. There he is there again. Earthquake getting the leg drop. Cup to the ear, as I mentioned. Now, there's just other wrestlers in here. I'm not going to go through all this, but there's Hogan again. Yep. Okay, so it is an annual, WWF annual. And, you know, Survivor Series there. And then there's a page with merchandise. Bit, you know, don't mind all that. You know, finishers. There's Hogan doing his finisher, the leg drop. And there's other wrestlers. But there was a page here of merchandise that I was going to show. And it just shows you how big of a star and how popular Hogan was. Right here it is. Because they put his face on stuff and it sold. You know, bears, kids' slippers, magazines, covers. So, yeah, he will be missed. And, you know, we all have to go sometime. But this was shocking to me. And thank you, Hogan, for the memories, the matches, the moments. Thank you for making me a Hulkamaniac that I am today. And I'm proud to say I'm a Hulk Hogan fan, and I'll always be a Hulkamaniac. You know, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea may not live forever, but Hulkamania will live forever. Hulkamania will never die. So, to Hulk Hogan's family, friends, everybody he worked with in the business, sorry for your loss, and, yeah. So, alright, I'm going to end this video here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And remember, it costs nothing to be kind. We don't know what people are going through just by looking at them. So, please, be kind to one another. Get to know somebody first before you judge them. We need kindness in this world more than ever. So, with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.